There's only two TA channels that I watched. One, Jason Casper. The other one was Jason Casper.
Here on YouTube.
This is known as the dreaded bald-headed Gary Gensler market cycle pattern. This is an emergency Bitcoin update. Red pepperoni tax whose nipples are getting lower. Right, I call it the upside down sandbag in green bearish man breast pattern. Man breast pattern. Man breast pattern.
The other one was Jason Casper.
Here on YouTube.
This is known as the dreaded bald-headed Gary Gensler market cycle pattern.
We see another woman with upside down uneven butt cheeks. Red pepperoni patches, nipples are getting lower. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell notification. We are bringing you timely updates here on YouTube. Want to join the Casper BingX Discord where every single day we do multiple live streams to give you the level for looking to trade, scalp, day trade, swing trade. You can go to BingXCasperTrades.com. Go ahead and click the link to join the BingX Discord.
If you're beginning to trade stock binary combination studies, what are you going to do?
There's only two TA channels that I watch. One, Jason Casper. The other one was Jason Casper.
Here on YouTube.
So, technically I'm a professional freestyle rapper, you know? And a metal vocalist. Upside down. Aspects of like my personality. You know, some people think it's super fun because like I get to just be who I am and it's my business. Like I call it the upside down sandbag in green bearish. In my opinion, you know, once again, the freestyle rapper on a treadmill. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell notification. Join the Casper BingX Discord where every single day we do multiple live streams to give you the level for looking to trade for scalp, day trade, swing trade. You can go to BingXCasperTrades.com. Go ahead and click the link to join the BingX Discord. You know what? I'm going live. If I mess up, nothing to do.
There's only two TA channels that I watch. One, Jason Casper. The other one was Jason Casper.
Here on YouTube.
I call it the upside down sandbag in green bearish breast pattern. Breast pattern. Breast pattern. You want to join the Casper BingX Go ahead and click it.
There's only two TA channels that I watch. One, Jason Casper. The other one was Jason Casper.
Here on YouTube.
This is known as the dreaded bald-headed Gary Gensler market cycle.
We see another woman upside down on each button.
Jason Casper.
We see another woman with upside down uneven butt cheeks.
Here on YouTube.
You know what? I'm just going live. If I mess up, there's nothing to do.
Here on YouTube. All right, y'all. We are live on this beautiful Thursday. It is beautiful. It's out. The sun is out. The chickens are chirping. The sky is falling. Everything's wonderful. Blessings to everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed. And guys, today we're going to be talking about this Bitcoin operation dump and pump operation. Operation dump and pump operation. Operations in the name twice because it's very conspicuous with such a large wick that happens so quick. When you got the quick wick, sometimes you need to say the same word twice in a row. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Wonka Boy, the first one in. Shout out to Aryan. Are you first? I don't know. From my side, the Wonka Boy's first. Shout out to Seymour Liddy Cabrera. He says, let's go. Shout out to, are you Boo Boo Gaming? Shout out to Boo Boo Gaming in the chat. Shout out to Zayshawn Khan. Shout out to Anon A. Let's go. Treadmill streaming, baby. Guys, can we get the like button going? If we can get 1,000 likes in the first half hour of the stream, as usual, I will be giving away 1,000 USDT. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Shout out to Splashfire Films. The chickens are drinking water outside. They've definitely got some fresh water in there, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, a little bit of homegrown oregano dried in there. Nice and good for their immunity. Shout out to everybody who says the music is too loud. Should we lower the music a little bit? How's that? Let me know. Shout out to Levi Jones. Shout out to Nam To H. Shout out to Nathan Ward. Shout out to Fly X Cole. Shout out to MK28. Let's go Jay. Shout out to Martin K. Shout out to Imad Muhammad. ZoomX. Shout out to ZoomX, guys, for sending me a pack of anti-FOMO goggles. This will definitely keep you from FOMOing into a trade. If price is pumping and you slept through it and you're thinking about longing the dang top, guys, these are very useful for such a thing. Shout out to Jamie scalping the 1 minute time frame. Shout out to Aru and P Escobar and Sean Vieira and All in Crypto. Shout out to Levi Jones. Did that giveaway happen yesterday? Yes, it was. Yes, it did, man. Boo Boo Gaming was our winner. Shout out to Gary Labantander. Snowing by him. Man, it's getting cold out, huh? Mr. Dockham says, long or short? Well, we'll get into it. You know, I'm in a few positions here as is usual. Shut up to Shadat, says iBooks exclamation point. Zigzag says, yo, shout out to my man with the super chat, Sam Heinous. He says, yo, Casper, let's go. Let's go, baby. Shout out to Glatte K-Gel. He says, everyone like. Shout out to Chad Oliver. Shout out to Andrew Denisi. Says, Casper equals the man. Well, I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. When's Papa Casper going to return? Soon. He's actually here right now. Maybe he'll stop on in. All right? Guys, make sure to like the dang stream. FOMO into the like button because unlike Bitcoin, the Jason Casper like button is the new safe moon. It's right there in the name, safe moon. It will moon. There will never be any pullbacks. 100x leverage. Like the dang video. Shout out to Divine Hood. God bless you, man. Shout out to Beer Noob 21. He says, Casper, give me some juice, baby. What kind of juice? Fresh apple juice? Fresh squeeze? We might be able to work on it. Shout out to the bird next door dumping on the 5 second. I see that even on the 5 minute. Shout out to Heine. Shout out to K-Pax. Shout out to Splashfire Films. Shout out to Crypto Hub. You guys are amazing. We're just letting some people fly in here. Win 31K? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. Bitcoin is going bonkers in the next 2 years. Yeah, I will sell 10 Bitcoin in March 2025, probably. I'm going to do it in a video as well. I'm going to make a crazy video during the bull market when everyone's super bullish. It's going to get a lot of views. All right, make sure to like it when it comes out. I'm going to be selling 10 Bitcoin, which I know is crazy. I don't even have 10 Bitcoin to sell yet, but I will by then. Because I'm stacking, baby. I'm stacking. Stacking it. Shout out to Nomadic Life. He's making epic gains on risky alts. Shout out to RM. Shout out to the Dusty Hunt and Chill32 Rollbit. What's going on, man, with the arm flex? Flex those arms, man. We're making gains like we're on trend. We're making gains like we're on testosterone and diet pills, baby. Where do you think this rally will, where do you think we'll bottom after this rally? We'll get into all that, man. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Shout out to Albi. What is my target for Bitcoin? Well, my next target for Bitcoin, my friend, is $45,000. This is where I left us all yesterday, right after we gave away 1,000 USDT because we got enough likes. By the way, if we can get 1,000 likes in the next 20 minutes, we will be giving away another 1,000 USDT. Shout out to Andreas. He says, stop giving away 1,000 every stream and you'll afford 10 Bitcoin. Well, I wish it was that simple, my friend. But I don't give it away every stream because y'all don't like the dang video. So look, my next target for Bitcoin is going to be the highs, right? $45,000 is my next take profit on this Bitcoin long trade right now. As you can see, I'm long on Bitcoin. Up right now about 11K unrealized. About 10K realized on these long trades here. And I'm shooting for the highs. Now, this white box that we have on the chart, this is undoubtedly our resistance right here, which is why we got a rejection from here. And we're going to be talking about exactly what happened, why that big drop to the downside, where did we find support, why the big bounce to the upside, and what is happening right now. Are we actually going to continue up, or are we just coming back to a local resistance for another move to the downside? All right, we are going to get into all of that, guys. We're going to be taking a look also at our good friend, the S&P 500, which is taking a pretty juicy dump today. We're going to be looking at the dollar, which took a pretty juicy dump today, but has now started to bounce as the S&P 500 has started to reject. And we're going to be focusing on Bitcoin, altcoins, and all that stuff, guys. So make sure to like the dang stream. Shout out to my Greek friend. He says, like the stream. 800 people and 90 likes. Come on. Shout out to Artem. He says, it's better to set a take profit at 44,980 or something instead of 45. Yes, Artem, it is better to do that. It is better to do that. All right. Well, let's kind of discuss what has happened here with Bitcoin. Over the weekend, Bitcoin got to move up to make this new high, right around $44,800. In fact, let me go ahead and just make these trend lines a little bit thicker for us so that we can see what's going on. Whoops, 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 whoops. Flopping and groping with the dang trend lines. All right, let's actually remove that watermark too. That annoys me. Yeah, so look at this. Bitcoin came up, made a high, right, on Friday, December 8th. This was almost a week ago. And as we made that high, we did print, for the first time since the end of October, a very bearish sign on Market Cypher B on the 1 hour time frame, right? We got the momentum wave coming down. We also got the money flow coming down as well, giving us the dreaded upside down Sam Bankman-Fried man boob pattern, which, you know, is a lot of people are using this pattern to take trades now. We can see if we overlay the boobs onto the chart, they line up pretty much perfectly. That money flow is getting lower. The nipples are getting lower over time as the price is simply taking out that high, which made for a beautiful short trade, right? This is the setup that we gave in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. That was the first short we were looking for. We wanted to take out that high with the bearish divergences on that 1 hour time frame, the 12 minute, the 6 minute, the 3 minute. Take profit one early, let the rest ride in case of dump. All right. Actually still have that short trade open right here. Okay. You can see I've realized the profit on it, but I still have $130,000 still in the position. Why do I still have that trade open? Well, it's because until we reclaim this, we have officially now started to switch into bearish market structure, right? Look at this. We were making higher highs and higher lows consistently for the past few weeks. And this was our last higher low that we put in right here on the 4th of December. My sister's birthday. Happy birthday, sis. Right? And look at what happened here. We came down, and technically on the 1 hour time frame, after printing a very bearish divergence on the 1 hour time frame, we did in fact make our first lower low, which tips us off that potentially we are going to see more downside. We also understand that still below us, we have lots of liquidity culminating in a very important support resistance flip around $38,500-ish, right? This is major support. So we're starting to see bearish signs on the chart with key supports a little bit lower, which is why I'm still holding that short trade. Now, what has happened locally here is the following, right? We did in fact start to form somewhat of a bearish pattern here, right? We had the descending triangle, right, where we pretty much had an area of support right around here, right? And guess what happened? We actually broke out of this triangle yesterday upon the news, and look at what has happened now, right? We have come down to back test this trend line, which used to be resistance for 1, 2, 3, 4 taps, now acting as support. And in addition, if we take the golden pocket from the low to the high, we can see that we are also finding really nice support on that Fibonacci golden pocket. So, is this bullish? Here's what I would say, guys. This is definitely looking to me right now more bullish than it was this morning, because now that we have come down to this area here, we have indeed printed a very bullish divergence on the 1 hour time frame. Price made a massively lower low, and here on Market Cipher B, the momentum waves have made a massively higher high. And we see this is the 12-minute time frame, but we can even go to the 1 hour and pretty much see the same exact thing. Can we on the 1 hour? Hang on, am I tripping out? I'm tripping out, guys. I'm tripping out. It's not on the 1 hour. What time frame is that? The 24-minute? Was it the 24-minute? I'm tripping out again. Dang. Well, you know what? This is a good segue into, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Just because we give setups in the Discord and take the juicy trades and realize the profits, it's all, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a guy in a tank top, sweaty on a treadmill, basically drawing pictures on a computer screen in Microsoft Paint. So make sure to like the dang video, especially if you like Microsoft Paint. I do. I missed that. Windows 3.1. So let's see. Right, we came back to retest the treadmill, the trend line. So we do have some bullish divergences on the 12-minute time frame, which is a nice time frame. We got that also on the 6-minute time frame. Do we have that on some of these lower time frames as well? We do have bullish money flow on these lower time frames. The fact now that we are trading back up in this range means I'd say that we have a pretty good shot right now at coming up a little bit higher. We have a pretty good shot at coming up a little bit higher. So for me, I am going to hold these long trades unless we see another rejection from here. Then I will actually contemplate maybe taking some profits out of these longs. But here's the reason why. When we take a look at this chart from the high to the low, right, we are getting, the reason why we're getting resistance here is because we have this box, the 786 and the golden pocket Fibonacci, right? The 786 and the golden pocket Fibonacci. I am pretty convinced that if we see the price come back up into this zone, we are going to put in another high. And the reason why I am convinced of that is because, first of all, we are in a very bullish trend, right? The trend is our friend until the end. And what we have done here is locally, we have made a low right around here. We have made a high, and then we have made a higher low exactly into the golden pocket, right? So we have right now on these 1 hour time frame, the 24-minute, we do have some bullish market structure locally, and we know that the structure is also bullish on the higher term time frames. And so therefore, because we have actually made a series of higher lows right here, it just makes the most sense to me that we will see that pattern continue. And if it does continue, where are our targets? Well, there are a few targets that we do have to the upside, but first of all, for me, it's going to be around that $45,000 level. One of the things that I really didn't like about this high is that it kind of happened in the middle of nowhere. I know we have some levels here. Shout out to Divine Hood. He had a pitchfork right here that hit to the exact dollar. So this could have been a significant high. But when we go to like the monthly time frame, for example, we can see that really we are topping out just before this next series of highs, right? So we basically are topping out just below the next major area of resistance if we're going to be going on the higher term time frames. And when we're dealing with macro trends like this, we do want to focus on those higher term time frames, right? So look at this. I would say the two key levels that I am really looking at here are going to basically be between that $48,000 level, because we have those highs there, as well as this monthly area where we had the monthly candle of March 2022 close and the April 2022 candle open. This is where my next major actual target for Bitcoin is going to be. And in addition to that, if we take the Fibonacci from the high to the low, well, gosh darn, would you look at that? Throw me on a tractor, call me Aunt Sally, and feed me Bitcoin all day and all night, because those highs are lining up perfectly with the Fibonacci golden pocket retracement from the macro high to the macro low. That is absolutely crazy, okay? It's very rare that you have a macro Fibonacci 618 0.65 area that doesn't give you some kind of a reaction, right? Even if we still continue this uptrend, which I believe we may, right? There's a few different possibilities for it. This is where I would expect some kind of a pullback, right? I would expect some kind of a pullback from that level. Why? Because the 618, you know, she is my high school crush. 6 Juanita. I had a huge thing for this chick. I thought she was into me as well. Turns out I was in the friend zone, okay? And I really did a lot for this chick. I carried her books to class. I let her copy off all my tests. I gave her all my homework every day in homeroom to copy, and I thought she was digging me, right? Wrong. When I asked her out, she was so disgusted and embarrassed. She gave me that face, that far off look. I'll never forget. It broke my heart. This is what made me go down the red pill MGTOW road, right? This is what led me into my experimental phase back in college when I got my degree in trans non-carbon binary emission studies. It all started with the heartbreak of 6 Juanita, all right? She rejected me. Look at the purple candles. Bam, boom, bam. Now here's something that we need to keep in mind here, right? She only rejected me because, well, she didn't like nice guys like your boy Jason Casper. She doesn't want a guy to hold the door open for her, no. She wants a guy that's going to treat her poorly, like a criminal, all right? A guy like Sam Bankman-Fried. Now, Sam Bankman-Fried is the reason why she rejected me. Now, when we look at his chest, what does he got that I don't got? Uneven man boobs, all right? Uneven man boobs. What does this mean? This means if we come up to this level, and we are seeing on some of these time frames, like maybe even the daily time frame, we're seeing that money flow come out, and we're seeing a momentum wave printing like this, right? A bearish divergence, the uneven man boob pattern. In fact, we could even just kind of take it. Let's take it. Let's grab these. You guys ever want to grab those? Let's grab these and just paste it over. Yeah, something like this. Something like that. Then we could assume that this 6 Juanita Fibonacci level could give us a little bit of a nice rejection. But when we are on these high time frames, it seems a little bit too early for me to top out, especially since we've been making a series of higher lows here, okay? So right now, if we can reclaim our box that we have on the chart here, I do expect a new high to be put in. I expect a new high to be put in, and it could happen very, very quickly, all right? Now, I do have to say this. This price action right here reminds me of something that happened in November, right? Let's take a look at November. Price action is very, very similar, right? We had a very large breakout, right? Very large break. Bam, right? We kept putting in new high after new high. And then all of a sudden, we started getting a little shaky, right? Look at this. Out of nowhere, boom, to the downside. Out of nowhere, boom, to the downside. Out of nowhere, boom, again to the downside. And I was getting bearish in this area because we were printing some upside down sandbag free bamboo patterns. But this culminated in another big push to the upside and another big breakout. So perhaps we're going to see something similar happen here, right? We're seeing boom, we're seeing bam. Maybe we'll see another few booms or bams before the break, right? It might not happen as quickly as everybody is expecting it, and that's actually true for upside and downside. That's actually true for upside and downside. Now, right now, if we go to the daily time frame, things are objectively speaking still very, very bullish on these higher term time frames, which means I am still in the buy the dip mentality. Because until we actually lose this exact level, which is around 37,700, give or take, 37,600, around there. It's a zone, it's not really an exact price. But until we lose this level, we have not changed market structure on the daily time frame. So unless we come down here, I am still expecting higher prices, okay? This is going to be massive, massive support. If we get another move to the downside, this is massive support right here. We can see it. It was resistance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It's the last high or low in this uptrend. As long as we hold this, I am expecting higher prices to come. And I would actually look at this as an opportunity to enter into a long trade from key support. But if we close the daily candle below, back test, then we need to be prepared for a move back down to around 30K. People get angry when I say 30K. They're like, Jason, how dare you? Bitcoin is the answer to all our problems. Right? Maybe Bitcoin is a solution to some of our problems. I would agree. I've been into Bitcoin since the old days when it was a lot more libertarian minded than it is these days. But yeah, maybe it's a solution to some of our problems. But here's the thing, right? That's what we really need to keep in mind here. When we look at the history of Bitcoin, right, in this uptrend, what do we see? We see a pattern that happens every single time. Bitcoin establishes a support resistance flip, right? For example, we have this key level that literally goes all the way back here to June 2022. It was our resistance, it was our support, it was our resistance, it was our resistance. Then guess what? We broke out and we came back down for a retest before the next big move to the upside. Then Bitcoin established a very important zone of support and resistance right here, going all the way back to May 2022, where it was our support and then it was our resistance, literally from June, August 2022 all the way to February 2023. And then when we broke out, guess what? We came back down for a retest before the next big move to the upside. Well, look at this, guys. We have just now broken out of a massive support resistance flip at around 31,000. All right, this is the value area low of the entire bull market, right? Support, support, resistance, 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 epic breakout, okay? Epic breakout. Now, if the pattern is going to continue, at some point, we are going to come back and back test this level, right? It could happen in a number of ways. Way number one is it could happen now, right? Because remember, this is our first support around 37.6-ish dollars, right? That key support resistance flip that we could drag all the way back to here. It could happen like this. Let's say we just so happen to top out, we come down, dead cat bounce, drop. We could drop really, really quick once we lose around that $38,000 level, because this has no support at all. None. Zero support. It could happen literally in a day or two, guys. In a day or two. Just as quick as it happened back here. Okay, it could happen again, because there is no support there. On the way up, we left no support. That is one way it could happen. Way number two it could happen is we come up to our next area of resistance at around 50K, which could also happen very quickly because there's not much resistance until we get to that golden pocket, as we already discussed. And then we get a pullback, bam, and then we go off into the bull market, the real bull market, guys. right? I do believe that we are going to still see 30K. We might not, but I'm still in the camp that we will see it. This to me is just way too overextended. Way too overextended. You even have CNBC telling you that Bitcoin is going to be at $54,000. When the mainstream media is telling you that Bitcoin is going to be $54,000, that is a warning sign, right? When your high school friends are calling you, asking if they should buy Bitcoin, that is a warning sign, right? So, really, the only three levels for Bitcoin I care about as far as my swing trading goes is number one, 38K. Very key. If we hold 38K, that's a buying opportunity. That's a long opportunity. That's a DCA opportunity, in my opinion. 30K. This could be the opportunity of the cycle if you have not been paying attention to Bitcoin down here, or here, or here. This is the next key zone that's going to give you an opportunity like this or this. Right? 30K is the next really great opportunity if we come down to there, right? So that's all I really care for right now. And then to the upside, that 49, 50K zone, the Fibonacci golden pocket, that is really what I'm interested in. Now, because of the fact that locally we have changed market structure, not changed market structure, but we maintained this bullish market structure locally here. All right, I know we've got bearish divs on the 24-minute here. I know we do. But because we made a low, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low into the golden pocket, I am still now going to be targeting higher Bitcoin prices. And I will be taking lots of profits between $48,000 and $50,000 on these longs. Hopefully, it will turn out pretty dang nice for me. Okay? So that's like my bullish plan. And everything I plan to do, whether or not Bitcoin pumps or dumps, right? If we pump, I'll be taking profits up here, looking for shorts. If we dump, I will be looking for longs here. If we dump even more, I will be buying on spot down here. And I will be probably looking for a very juicy swing long trade. Now, Bitcoin is struggling right here. Let's take a look at what exactly happened. Why did we get this big dump this morning? Why did we get the big dump this morning? Well, here's what happened, guys. Bitcoin came up to, as we know, the golden pocket Fibonacci retracement yesterday night, okay? Now, when we came up here, we saw something called bearish absorption, right? Bearish absorption. What is bearish absorption? We'll get into it a little bit here. Let's check out what is bearish absorption. Here we go. What is bearish absorption? Absorption is when the market makers are trying to play games with your dang heart, making you think there's a breakout happening, but really, they are building their short trades while the retail traders are longing. And here's the thing, we don't have to guess about when it's happening. We can see it clearly on the charts. Right here, this is a website called coinwise.net. All right, now look at this. We know price came up into the Fibonacci golden pocket. If we're going to get a retest, or if we're going to create a new trend where we make a high and then we make a low, and we make a lower high, we know it's going to happen in this area. This is where it's most probable to happen, in between that golden pocket and 786 level, right? When price makes a high, and then over time you see price make a lower high, like it did right here. Right, let's make this a little bit more easier to see for us, right? And let's make this a little bit easier to see for us as well. I'm gonna make it thick, and well, let's give it a nicer color here. There we go. That's beautiful. Price has made a lower high, but when we actually look at the order book, what do we see? We see open interest is getting higher over time. What does this mean? This means more trades are opening up over time. That means there's more people opening up fresh trades at this lower high than there are at this higher high. And what else do we see? We see CBD is getting higher. What is the CBD telling us? It's telling us, are the trades opening up? Are they longs or are they shorts? If this green line, the CBD line, is getting higher, while the open interest is getting higher, that's telling us new trades are opening and they're long trades. It means we see fresh market participants coming in, clicking the long button, and over time, there's a lot more longs entering into the market right here than there were right here. Now we know that price is moved by the market participants, just like anything else in life. If more people are buying something, it will push the price higher. If more people are selling something, it will push the price lower, right? So if you see that there are more people buying Bitcoin than there were the first time we hit that high, and yet the price is not getting higher, in fact it's getting lower, the only explanation for this is that there's a whale here. All right, he's a big old market maker, the big smelly kind, right? That big fat guy on the cruise ship with those hot chicks, right? The guy on the opposite end of all your losing trades, right? He's sitting up here with this big old fat beer gut sticking out with all his money, with all his trade. Guess what he's doing right here? All of these retail traders who are clicking the long button are, unbeknownst to themselves, actually filling up a short order for this whale. And every time they click the long button, they are literally putting money into the short order. They are literally causing that short order to get filled. He has a limit order set there for 1 billion Bitcoin. And every retail trader that's longing, every time they long, they're just putting money into this guy's short order, right? Until his short order's full. And then guess what he does? Boom! He sinks that ship. Because if I'm a whale, if I'm the fat guy in the cruise ship with the hot girl on the opposite end of your losing trades, if I want to sell a lot of Bitcoin, I can only sell something if somebody's willing to buy it. If no one's willing to buy my sweaty underwear, doesn't matter how much my sweaty underwear is worth. If no one's buying it, I can't make any money selling it. But if all of a sudden I have these retail traders just begging to get their hands on my sweaty boxers, well, guess what? Now I can sell it and make a lot of money from selling it. Boom, baby! We got that big old drop to the downside, whale swimming away with your hot girlfriend on the cruise ship, beer gut hanging out, laughing all the way to the dang bank with those retail traders, okay? But then what happens after that? Let's talk about it. We know that the reason why, and this is something we should look for when we come up to a key level, right? We had come up to the Fibonacci golden pocket retracement. And we know that the 618 Fibonacci is my high school crush, the one who rejected me. All right, here's a picture of the whole rejection. 6 Juanita, give me the hand, give me the face. Boom, big move to the downside. Why did she reject me? Because there was a bearish divergence on the chart, the upside down butt cheek pattern. But here's the thing about 6 Juanita. Because you are in the friend zone, she will, of course, reject you. She will never date you, but she will be there to offer you support when your heart is broken. Why? Well, because you let her copy your homework. You let her copy your tests. You carry her books to class. You pay for her lunch in the cafeteria. She needs you. All right? She needs you. It's a very toxic relationship. Okay? But that is what has happened right now, right? We saw the whales. The fat chick ran away with your girlfriend on his cruise ship, laughing all the way to the bank. He came down, broke your heart. 6 Juanita was there to offer you support, a shoulder to cry on. We got some bullish divergences, and boom, guess what? The cycle continues. We once again are trying to ask out the girl who we know is going to reject us. But here's the thing. We've changed. We've got a new haircut. We started going to the gym. We started wearing Market Cypher tank tops every single day instead of this nice guy kind of plaid shirt thing that we had going on. You know what I'm saying? You know? So, maybe this time she might let us through. Especially since we got a higher low right here. Alright, only time will tell. But locally for me, I'll have to say I am agnostic. I do not know what's going to happen right now. The reason I don't know is because I'd say things are equally looking bullish and bearish in this area. The key level for me is going to be 43,900. Why is this going to be a key level? I will tell you why. Now keep in mind, I'm still holding the short trade, the setup we gave in the Casper Crew VIP Discord from the exact high, right? I have not closed that trade. That's how I trade. I call it schlonging. I take shorts from the top, I take longs from the bottom, I make sure I realize the dang profit, so no matter what happens, I have made money on these trades, all right? and then let the chips fall where they may. But when we take a look at these highs here, all right, that are coming in just above our 786 Fibonacci level, when we take a look at a TPO chart, in fact, we could even do this in trading view now. We don't even need to go on a dang exo charts. But when we take a look at that series of highs, we can see that they are poor highs. All right. If you don't know what that is, don't even worry about it. It basically just means it looks like there's unfinished business at these highs. And when you see unfinished business at these highs, right, you can almost expect that the price will come up and just grab that liquidity and then get a move to the downside, right? So do not be surprised if we see price make a lower high at this area and then get another big old drop. But that's why the 786 for me is going to be such a dang key level, right? It's going to be such a key level around that 43.9-ish zone. Obviously, if we reclaim that, I expect we get a breakout. I'm not just talking about making another little high like this. I'm expecting a breakout if we reclaim this, right? Because there's usually two things that happen when you have a series of poor highs. The first thing that happens is you get the stop hunt, and then you drop. But the second thing that happens is you literally break out. And if we break out, we know we are very, very, very close to a major high time frame area of resistance, that 48 to 50K. We're in the middle of a major uptrend here, all right? So that's kind of the level I'm looking at to the upside. You know, if I see that we do reject from here, I will add to the short. I will add to the short. If I see that we break out from there, I will add to my long. Right? If we break out of this, I'm actually going to add to my long trades that I'm in from down here. So my entry's right here. Because what you need to do, if we are in a clearly defined trend, is put yourself in the most advantageous situation, right? And if we are establishing higher lows and higher highs along the way up, this is why you guys have seen me in the past few weeks been adding to these long trades here, right? I've added to my long trade from lower to make my entry at this last higher low. Because if the trend is going to continue, I want to add to my position, but I don't want it to be in a stupid place. I want it to be in a spot where if we come below it, the trend is ending. So if now we break out and we hit my take profit up here, I will add this back into the trade so that my entry is probably around here, right? I'm going to take $28,000 out of the trade up here, put another 28K back into the trade down here, get my entry somewhere around this area, and bam, we're going off to 50K in my opinion, right? If that doesn't happen, if we reject, I will add to the short trade so that my entry for the short trade is now right around here, and then we will take it back down. That's my plan for these open positions. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Wow, we got 1,200 people in here. Only 500 likes. Man, do you know what that does to the self-esteem? This is worse than the time I got rejected by 6 Juanita. This is worse than the time 6 Juanita did not have a crush on me, but her ugly older sister 786 had a crush on me. This is crazy. This is worse than the time everyone made fun of me for my hair and my handlebar mustache and my eye makeup. I thought I was being cool. I was like, come on guys, it's 2023. Isn't this normal now? Apparently it's not normal. Only on TV is this normal. In real life, this is still not normal, you know? In real life, this still ain't normal. But you know, it's weird these days. You got real life and then you got virtual life. You know, it's very strange. A strange time that we live in, guys. Let's check out what's happening right now on the order book. All right, so basically, guys, we have seen a lot of longs open up here. Wow. About 7, 8, 9 million longs open up right here. We got to move to the upside. Most of those longs have closed their positions. And we've actually seen a steady amount of shorts close their positions too. And right now, there is low volume and low open interest, which means people aren't really interested in trading right now. We're just above the VWAP. We are just above the VWAP. Let's put on our VWAP here. Yeah, we're just above her. Man, what a day. What a day. What a dump and pump. Holding above VWAP is bullish. Let's pull the fib locally here. Honestly, right now, VWAP could make for a nice support locally. Right? Call this a crazy idea, and it might be. But, an invert head and shoulders right into that VWAP, right into that golden pocket, right? I'm not saying this is not financial advice. But I'm just coming to a chart and saying, wow, interesting confluences. Interesting confluences. Alright. Alrighty. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. God bless you guys so much. Who we got in here today? Mr. Market, Charles de St. John, Levi Jones, Tomas Godor. He says, Kawindu, it's with different leverage. Oh, how do you open multiple longs and shorts on MEXC? Okay, so MEXC, you can long and short the same pair at the same time. It's called hedge mode. Do I have kids? Praise God, I have 3 beautiful children. Yeah, I was fat back in college. Well, you know, back in college, they taught me being fat was healthy. They said obesity is healthy, right? And so I thought it was healthy. I thought it was good for me, but that's just what I learned, you know? It was a really painful time because my major was in trans non-binary carbon emission studies. I felt really guilty because getting to this weight, you would imagine I had some pretty bad flatulence going on. So I had to actually hold in my farts all day, and I became very uncomfortable. But I didn't want to fart because that would release carbon. And then when I found out I was made of carbon, I started to get really depressed. I'm like, man, am I a bad person? But I can't be a bad person because I'm majoring in trans non-carbon binary emission studies. But I'm carbon? It caused a real crazy thing to happen in my life. Let's see. We're getting a little pump here. Shout out to everybody in the dang chat, man. Shout out to Andres, I love Bitcoin. Shout out to Carlos. He says, reject liberalism, join God. Well, any ideology that's not a godly ideology is counter to God, whether it be liberal or conservative. Honestly, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Shout out to Infinite Wisdom. He got a treadmill today. Shout out to Carlos. He says, Yeshua bless everybody. A. Kim says, I never understand how you get those entries. Can you explain with more details? So, look, I know this is going to sound really simple, but it really is as simple as having a plan. Like, you need to come to a chart and ask yourself, what trade would I like to take? Right? What trade would I like to take? And then plan for it. Right? That's how I do it. Look, the short trade from the exact top. I was planning for this. I was planning to just get a fake out to the upside with bearish divergences and a drop. So when you get a pump to your level, while most people are freaking out, oh, let's long the breakout, here we go, bullish engulfing. I'm sitting here trying to short. Why? Because I planned for it. And it's not just, I'm not just planning to catch a rising knife. That's the thing. I'm planning it if I see these things, right? When I give setups in the Casper Crew Discord, they are conditional. They're not. I'm not telling people to short a level. I'm saying if price comes to this level and there are divergences on these time frames, then we have a trade on our hands, right? It's just my style of trading. But you have to plan for it. It doesn't have to be from the exact high either. It could be anywhere, as long as you have 3 things. You need 3 things. Number 1, where are you going to enter the trade? Notice, this trade, I'm planning for it into the future. I don't know when this is going to happen, but when it does, I know exactly where I'm going to enter. Number 2, where are you going to exit if it goes against you? You need to know. For me, the exit if it goes against me is above this wick, wherever that wick may go. And number 3, you need to know where you're going to get out if the trade goes in your direction. In this case for me, TP1 at the golden pocket, and then let the rest ride instead of dump. You need to have those 3 things planned out in advance. And if you don't have those planned out in advance, you are going to have a really bad time trading because you're going to be chasing price and trading with emotion instead of a clearly defined plan, right? You've got to have that plan. You have to also know how much money you're planning to put on the trade. How much are you going to lose if it goes against you? How much are you going to win if it goes for you? But also, here's another thing too. The long trade I am in, I did not take this trade. I was long from a lower level, right? I was long from, I don't know, where did we take that long? It was another long we gave in the Casper crew. It was somewhere down here, I think. And so when I saw that we were putting in a bounce here, I added to the long trade because if this is going to be a higher low in the uptrend, then I do want to add to my trade. So if the trend continues, I'm in a bigger position along the way up, right? So I didn't actually catch this exact bottom, but we are known for catching bottoms in the Casper crew, baby. That's right, Greta was the teacher. We had a 15-year-old girl as the teacher in college. You know, those kids, they're just so wise. They know so much more than the older people. We should learn a lot from them, you know what I'm saying? We should really learn a lot from them. They really know what's going on. Is there going to be another weekend pump? Well, I will say this. Lately, Bitcoin has been pumping over the weekend, right? Lately, Bitcoin has been pumping over weekends, except for last weekend. We just ranged. And, actually, we did get a little bit of a pump over the weekend, but it culminated in the Monday dump. Culminated in the Monday dump. All right. Let's take a look at some other assets here. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Man, you know, the ES, the SPX is the only thing that did not hit a new all-time high yesterday. We saw NQ hit a new high. Look at that. NQ literally hit a new all-time high yesterday. Would you look at that? Wow. And is getting a CDW from that right now as we speak. What else did? Did the Dow Jones? Something else did. Yeah, Dow Jones, new all-time high, not even a CDW, but we did not see the S&P get that new high, which is a bummer because I am still long on the S&P 500 and I still do have a target for this thing at the new all-time high. Also the setup we gave in the Casper crew. Right, that's another thing. Look, long from the exact bottom on the S&P 500. How? I just planned for it. We had a really nice level down there. I want to see dips on these time frames. That's what we got. I still do think that we can get a move to the all-time high on the SPX. I really do. It just makes the most sense to me. It's a very random place to just top out right now. It's a very, very random place to just top out right now. So let's go into a lower time frame and assess this situation. Let's go to a lower time frame and assess. What the heck? Oh, there we go. Yeah, let's assess the dang situation here. Alright, I'm going to go down to the 1 hour. Okay, so yesterday when the news came out that they were going to keep interest rates the exact same, we got a massive candle. In just about 2 hours, we pumped up a 1.5%, which is pretty massive for the ES. So there's no real sign of weakness here yet. The only thing that will, in my opinion, make me start to get bearish on my target is if we start to lose this and then put in a lower high, right? Then I might actually close that long trade, honestly. But we also have a gap to the downside, right? We have the gap to the downside, and a lot of times those gaps do fill. So if we take the fib from that last major low to the high, very interesting. At the top of that gap, we have the golden pocket. At the bottom of that gap, we have the 786 zone. So you know what? Yeah, as long as we don't lose this area here, man, for me, I'm gonna hold that long trade. This will be my first sign of weakness, taking out that low, but really, as long as we can hold above this gap that we made here, I still think it's more probable than not we will see a new all-time high on this thing as well. Because when we do go to those higher term time frames, like the weekly, we can see that we literally don't have any real resistance at all. I know you could say that this weekly order block at the top is resistance, but nah. It just makes a lot more sense to go for the high, in my opinion. It just makes a lot more sense to go for that high. And when we do go for that high, guys, we will be printing some extremely bearish divergences on the weekly time frame for potentially, and it will take some time to play out here, but if we start to see really that we lose this, especially if we like close a weekly candle under it, that could be giving us a hint that we might get a pretty a doozy of a pullback here, right? To use that term, doozy, a doozy of a pullback, right? Let's check out our dollar. Let's go to the 4 hour. All right, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay, so we have been saying since the dollar got this bounce that we want to see it make another low. That's exactly what we've done. Let's see if we can't get the dollar to come down a little bit lower here. And let's see if we can't get the SPX and the Bitcoin to come up a little bit higher. And then we can see the dollar get a bounce. Then we can see Bitcoin get a little bit of a retracement. And the S&P maybe get that little short going on where we can take out that high and get a little move down. And then maybe we see Bitcoin come down to some of those nice levels that we were looking at the beginning of the stream, where we're looking for those juicy long trades from. Those swing longs, the kind that really, where the real money's at, guys. You know what I'm saying? I know Dow Jones is crazy. Dow Jones is crazy. Shout out to Legit Killer, he says 50K coming fast. $50K coming in fast. Shout out to Dave Digital. Shout out to Sean Vieira. Shout out to Splash Bar Film. Shout out to IWTA Dead. He says this channel is the best. Man, God bless you. Artrem says, yeah, let's say you're trading a reversal. There is no retracement to play off. You guys look at historical levels, CPO data, 50%. Yeah, we look at historical levels. So for me, the way I trade is I look for a level. For example, I mean, like, so the short trade, right, that I'm in, the level was the high, right? I mean, the level was the high. Whenever you see price pumping up or dumping up, and then it starts to make a flag, that flag is your playground for trading, right? You know, a lot of people, they see this, and they're like, oh my gosh, should I long? It's like, no. Wait until this starts to happen, all right? As soon as this happens, you immediately have potential trades on your hands, right? Mark the high, mark the low, right? Most of the time, you now have your key levels. This is now your trading range. If this is going to result in a bull flag, you are going to be looking for longs toward the low of the bull flag. If this is going to result in a Bart Simpson pattern, you look for shorts at the top of the bull flag, right? And so when you establish that first high, if price does this, let's say price does this, takes that low, when it gives a fake out to the downside, I usually like to long that. And then eventually we expect something like this to happen, and then it takes the high. When it takes the high, we want to see bearish divergences, right? We want to see our oscillator look like this, right? The oscillator looks like this. As we are taking it and losing the level, boom, you have yourself a short setup. If the oscillator looks like this, down here, right? Bam, you have yourself a long setup, right? The bull flag is the playground for trades. So when you're starting to form a flag like this, see this line, CDW right here? This was me marking that first low of the range. And look what happened. We came, we took the low, We got the move to the upside, so it just makes sense. We took the low of the range. Now we're going for the high. And if we come up to the high with these divs, then you look for the confirmations on the chart, which you could see right here. We're setting ourselves up. You could extrapolate. When you come to a chart like this, you can extrapolate. There's no way Market Cypher is going to have time to even make a higher high than these, right? You could extrapolate to yourself and just say, you know what? How probable is it that we're going to see Market Cypher make a higher high, right? And it didn't have time to make the higher high, right? I gave the trade setup down here. We came up, we made a lower high, and the money flow getting lower. That is the signal, right? That is the signal. So that's how you're going to catch those. It's not like you're just random. You do have a level. You have that bull flag giving you the levels, right? Alrighty. Guys, I have to head out. You know why? I had a fox come through my chicken coop. Unfortunately. And so I had to order some chickens. I usually don't. I usually hatch my own. I had to order chickens from a hatchery. I'm going to pick up 20 chickens. So I gotta go. But God bless all of you. May the Lord bless you. May He protect you. May He shine light upon you. May He have grace upon you. May the Lord turn His face towards you and give you peace in Jesus' name. Even if you're not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed. And I'll see everybody in the next stream. Peace!